So my name is Vanessa della Corte, and I'm an interior decorator. So a little bit more about what I do as an interior decorator is I'd like to say kind of coming to people's homes and helping them find a way to enhance it, love it, and make it just a little bit more special for them. So I would say my interior design style is a little bit of a mix of, I would say, traditional with contemporary. I definitely love having things mixed. I don't like when everything's too much of one thing, but I definitely tend to go on a more of a kind of classic side, and I love mixing in old and new, so antiques. So when a client tells me they have something that, you know, it's really personal to them and they love it and they'd want to give it new life, I love that. I love mixing that in with, let's say, a brand new chandelier. So I got into interior decorating actually kind of, I want to say, organically. It's something I always loved to do, and my background was actually as a fashion designer, and I spent my entire career as a fashion designer and I absolutely loved it. But recently, I would say in the last few years, I got more and more into interior design by doing my own homes, flipping my own homes. Then I started to do things for friends. One client led to another client, and then I kind of just gravitated here, and somehow here I am and I love it. So my experience as a fashion designer definitely prepared me for this career. Definitely working with people, understanding what it is people want and trying to help give it to them, but packaging it to them in a beautiful way. So in fashion, the main difference I would say is that oftentimes you don't get to actually see the client wearing all this beautiful stuff and work you put into. So you go out, you get the trends, you're traveling the world, and you come back and you design and you work on the production, and it's amazing, but then you don't see it again. You see it in a store and that's it. Where this, I have to say, is a lot more rewarding because I feel like I'm helping someone directly. I'm going into their home and I'm helping them, and I'm putting that same smile on their face that they might have gotten before with a dress I designed, but this time it's their living room. And I really love that rewarding aspect of working with that client. And I would say in terms of fashion experience, everything to top to bottom can be relatable. Obviously, we're super comfortable working with different materials, fabrics, production timelines, trends, making those trends evolve, how the trends evolve and how you can make them work for the client is almost exactly like interiors. People will come to you and show you 10 different pictures that might not actually work together, but you try and find a way to evolve it and make it make sense for them. And that's exactly how fashion is.
So what are three tips for interior decorating for the fall-winter season?
So I would say my tips for the fall-winter season is definitely to not be afraid to make a little bit of changes. They don't always have to be long-term. So example, if you had a beautiful vase on a table and you had greens in there and they definitely added character into your room. Maybe throughout the fall, you'd want to change those greens to be branches, but you'd make sure they'd be extra full to fill up the space that the greens had. So that could be a fun way to kind of give it a little bit more of a fallsy vibe. I would say definitely making sure you've got the throws on the couch and keeping things kind of cozy, and definitely candles.
What is your favorite room in your home and why?
So favorite room in my home, I would say actually would be both of my boys' rooms. I had a lot of fun designing their nurseries, and of course not so fun when the older one got a little bit bigger and he wanted it to evolve, and we needed to incorporate dinosaurs. However, it's a lot of fun working with the design and then having to evolve it. So I would definitely say my boys' rooms. After that for me would be my dining room, just because that's the place that kind of maintains a little bit more of a glitz and glam, and the gold and crystal chandelier with, you know, a little bit more of what's me. So a great way to refresh a space on a budget, I think, would definitely be to start with the hardware in the kitchen. Oftentimes I feel like that's the first thing in the kitchen that kind of starts to look outdated, and it's probably the easiest thing that you could change without having to call in extra help, and definitely can be done on a budget. And actually what I love about Union is they have insane amount of options, beautiful options to choose from. I always love to come here for that. Another way to update your space, I would say, would be just to change out little things. Doesn't mean you need a new couch or a new coffee table, but maybe you're just gonna change all the accessories in the room. So the throw pillows, maybe it's a rug, maybe it's the lamps. And I think if you're staying within the means of remembering simple rules like symmetry and sticking to the same color palettes, I think a little can go a long way. I would say 3 words that best describe me are definitely easygoing, fun, like to try and keep things fun, and then the last thing would be creative. Always been a creative person, and some way, somehow, always stay within a creative realm, so that's definitely me. So I think interior design has changed in the sense that people have spent a lot more time at home, and I think function is becoming more important than ever, but I never want to forget the fact that we need to like the way our homes look. So I think it's changing it's evolving to have to try and make those two worlds work together, making your space beautiful, but being able to also live in it and have it make sense to your family's needs or to your needs. Union represents to me a place that's more than just somewhere that I can come buy a light fixture. First of all, there's so much more than lights. I'm finding my hardware here. I'm offering my clients mirrors, tables, anything you can think of. And it's also the fact that I know that I can come to them if I have something that I can't find or I'm not sure about, and they're gonna help me. They're super helpful all the time, super welcoming, and I absolutely love that sense of loyalty that they've given me, and I give it back to them, and I know that every client who walks through the door will get that as well.
Oh wow, that's beautiful.
It's true. My top 3 picks, I would say to start with, is one of the chandeliers from Visual Comfort, which has kind of like a bamboo sort of shape in the gold, in the arms, and it has these off-white shades. What I love about it is that it's just a small little detail, and when you look at it, it's actually a very simple chandelier, but that detail just gives a little something. The other item I would say is a pendant, also from Visual Comfort, from Kate Spade. It's just a glass pendant. It's really quite simple as well, but there's just a little bit of a ridge inside the glass. So once again, it's just a small detail that adds a little bit of something that makes it just a little bit extra, but not over the top. The third one would be, I would say, a little bit more of an over-the-top item, is another chandelier that has these linear glass elements, also on a gold. And what I love about that one is it kind of looks like an old chandelier, but not old. It's like a new old. And once again, I love mixing in new and old and kind of playing with that. And I would see that in a very white home, beautiful wainscoting, simple clean line furniture, but have this glitzy glam chandelier. The best place to find me would be on my Instagram, which is designed by Vivi Della Corte. Or you can find me at Union.